What's up, Hardcore Nation? It's Hardcore Christopher here, and today, well, my last video I talked about Charlie Travels. I'm still not done with him, but I'm gonna move on to a different subject and come back to him when the time is right. I got to thinking, Christopher, why do bullies exist? And I finally came up with an answer. The reason why bullies exist is to bring despair, sadness, hopelessness to other people. Bullying can take many forms. Mental, physical, schools. Bullying can happen. Bullying can happen in public places like a store, a school, a park. But that's not the type of bullying I'm talking about. There's another form of bullying that people pay little attention to, and that's cyberbullying. If you don't know what cyberbullying is where somebody gets on their computer or phone or wherever they have access to the internet, and whether it be in the comment section of a YouTube video, whether it be on Twitter or some platform where you can live stream, they say and they do whatever they want, and unlike a bully in a school, where you can go tell someone, and it's usually remedied after you tell an authority figure. There is no authority figure on the internet. And I have a message for cyberbullies. If you guys think it's okay to run your mouth and tell someone that they're worth nothing, that they're this, that they're that they should go kill themselves. Well, let me ask you a question. What if John Doe over here, I'm going to lay out a scenario. What if John Doe goes onto his Facebook and go, and goes to this and go to this lady. This lady is gonna be called Shelly. So John Doe goes on Shelly's Facebook wall and just starts calling her everything. A bitch, a slut, a whore. And at first, Shelly doesn't pay any attention to it. But then John Doe says that she's ugly, that she looks like a meth head, a crackhead, that she does marijuana, that she does crack, that she does meth. And Shelly sees that post and she doesn't know the person. She doesn't know the person. But she decides to just leave it alone. John Doe pushes it even more. John Doe is now calling her John Doe is now messaging her and saying, "Hi, Shelly. You know, it wasn't nice when you had sex with 7 to 8 guys." And Shelly doesn't respond. Then John Doe continues. He goes, Everyone knows that because Shelly has a kid. This kid's name is going to be Celeste. So John Doe says that, you know, Celeste, what mother in their right mind names their child Celeste? I know. A mom that was high, drunk, I know. A mother that was high and drunk and didn't tell her man to use protection. Then John Doe continues. And it finally gets so bad that the problem that Shelly was trying to avoid. She has no choice but to respond now. And she goes, "Look, I don't know who you are. I don't know how you got my information. But if you continue, I will. If you continue, I will. I will. I will. I will block you." And John Doe's like, John Doe on the other side, he's like, "I got her. Now time to reel her in." What? John Doe messages her again, and he says one of the most mean and hurtful things just out of spite. And he goes, John Doe says, "Dear Shelley, I am not sorry for what I said about your kid Celeste. I am also not sorry about what I said about you. In fact, everyone knows that when you were in high school, you dropped out, you became a prostitute, you got pregnant, you experimented with heroin, meth, cocaine, and acid. Let's not forget acid. Then after that, you became pregnant. But you were still using, weren't you? Weren't you?" "Yes, you were." "You know what? If you want to do the world a favor, why don't you just kill yourself? It's not like your daughter will miss you anyway, right?" John Doe sends that. And Shelley's reading this, and she is heartbroken that someone would say such mean and nasty things about her when Shelley didn't do anything wrong to this person. So Shelley doesn't go to the police. Shelley goes to her friends and shows them the messages. And all they do is laugh it off like it's some sort of joke. She tries to explain, but no one believes her. She goes to the police then. The police tell her, "Ma'am, there's nothing we can do." Shelley goes to her parents. But they just write it off as nothing. So what happens? Well, let's move this along like 6 months. Shelly has a job. Well, not only does Shelly have a job, Shelly loves her job. Shelly loves her coworkers. And John Doe is still at it. So much so that from reading message after message from the past 6 months, for the past 6 months, it sucked all the joy, all the love of her job out, and she begins slipping on her work. She begins slipping so badly that her boss had to let her go. But what about Celeste? What has Celeste been doing these past 6 months? Well, what Celeste has been doing the past 6 months is watching her mom get stressed out. Celeste tries to cheer her up, and Shelly wants nothing to do with it. Eventually, Shelly isolates herself from everyone. Just stays in the house, stays in her room, does nothing. But she keeps on getting these messages from John Doe. John Doe is making her feel worthless, hopeless. He's bringing despair. And finally, after another month of putting up with this, Shelly Shelly has finally made a decision that, I've had enough. So she goes to Smokin' Joe's gun store. And she asks if he has a revolver. And he goes, "Yes, ma'am, I do." She goes, "Can I see it?" And she begins asking questions about, how to load it, how to shoot it. And Smokin' Joe is just thinking, this girl wants knowledge, and she wants to be, basically thinking she's a hunting type or something like that. And she goes home. Celeste is at her grandparents' house. And she pulls out the revolver, thinking to herself, this guy's right. I have everyone doesn't believe me. I don't like what I don't like what I see when I look in the mirror anymore. I'm just a failure as a mother. So she bought some ammo. Put one bullet in the chamber of the revolver. Spun it. She puts it to her head. Bang! Then the next day, the very next day, it's reported on the news that Shelley died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound right to her head, and is left with, she leaves a surviving daughter, Celeste. I said, why did I spend so much time making such a story? Because you want to know something, things like that happen every single day. Every single day. And you want every single day something, so almost, I'm gonna say about 90% of people that are bullied commit suicide. Why? Because they see no way out. The bullies got their mind all been out of shape, that all they can see is 5 seconds. When she bought the gun, when she was going to kill herself, when she pulled back the safety, and finally when she pulled the trigger. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Why don't I like it? Because of think about this. Think about this for a second. Because of John Doe's cyberbully, Shelley left this world way too early. She had a daughter. She had a beautiful daughter that has to go through life now without any mother figure. Father figure's gone. The father died in a car wreck coming home from work. So now Celeste is going to be raised by her grandparents, which isn't all bad. But at the same time, But at the same time, Shelly didn't have to die. But that's what I'm saying, is that because it happens. And, the sad part is that even though it does happen and everything like that, I'm not saying that all bully victims commit suicide. But there are people that do it. There are people that commit suicide because of bullying, because of cyberbullying. So, to every single person that's thinking about cyberbullying, before you open up your mouth, think about the consequences. Think about the consequences that you're having, that you're gonna have to live with. Think about it. Anyway, Hardcore Nation, this has been Hardcore Christopher. Keep it hardcore, everyone.